psychology. And we are use creative psychology for the purpose of specializing into this kind of field. So then help people with the specific need that they have. So then we start having like a behavior perspective. So this is what we learned about the theory of philosophy of the psychology. So based on the theory of behavior's perspective, that's mean the specialist Watson, he focused on the behavior perspective and indicate what is the psychology going to be like. That's what is his theory based on what is his understanding and study to indicate what is psychology. So then we indicate this perspective stretching on a role of environmental stimuli. So what does this really mean? It means that based on the environment, the individual of us behave according to the environmental stimuli. For example, if I go into the sun, it's very hot, right? That's the environment. Am I right? Then I have to shed off my layer of coat. That's why. Okay? So that's the behavior. So that's why the role of the environment stimulate human behavior. That's what he learned. And that's what he decided. He also argued that we are largely result from the past learning. So when I teach you in the first semester already, and I learn each of you have a different IQ, a different behavior, and based on that, I interact with you or I respond with you during the interaction, and that's based on my past learning to learn who you are. Follow me? Okay. So then, that's what he said, that we all largely is a result from past learning. Also, if a person gives, like the ones that is not down there, she very secluded herself. She never pay attention to anyone. She's always comfortable within her corner zone. And so that's why I have to eye on her and to make sure that she understands what I'm talking. So my behavior is based on her behavior. Right? So that's why also from how do I act is based on the environment. And then approach does not give the importance of the consciousness or the subjective state. So this kind of behaviorist perspective, it doesn't focus much on the state of consciousness because he more focused on behavior. And this behavior, he said that is been shaped by the environment, by socialized by the environment. So in addition, he also observed the behavior and also its relationship with the environment condition is the main focus on this perspective here. Okay, so the topic itself, the title itself already indicates he will focus on the behavior and he explained the behavior shaped by the environment. So that's what and he doesn't care about the state of mind. He just say that your state of mind is based on, or your behavior, your way of thinking to other people is based on the environment. So that's what his focus. Then it's come to the Skinner. He believed that in the objective study of behavior. What does this really mean by the belief in the objective study of behavior? For example, what does this mean by objective? Objective does mean non-subjective, right? If I say I'm happy, okay, she says she's happy. But then Skinner say, then if I say I'm happy, then Skinner say she's happy because very objective. I can see from her smile. So that's a subjective. A very appearance indicate the objective. He indicate the behavior, appearance, what he see. Then he indicate that I'm happy. So what is objective really means though? When you learn something objectively, what does this really mean? In the methodology, whatever you do the writing, you have to write it objectively. What does this really mean by objectively?
Not seeing or because you are similar and seeing in a sense of I.
Yeah. So objective does mean whatever you write is based on your five senses. You can observe, you can hear. If I say that that's a very loud voice, that's indicate You know, when the patient coming in, they have to check out their jewelry, right? We don't say 24-karat gold bangle has been deposited to the nursing station. We say yellow gold color bangle with the dragon printed. Deposit to the nursing. That is objective. So you have to identify what is objective and what is subjective. So when you learn the behavior, and especially Skinner, when he conducted the study behavior, he learned objectively. So for example, if he learned, how does he learn behavior objectively? His hello and his how do you do? See? So this is the way of flirting. Right? So then he indicates, she keep on glaring to her eyes, she smiled at him, and then stand close to him, and then start flirting. This indicates flirting behavior. Understand how does he learn the objectively through the behavior. Understand? So that's why Skinner developed further from Watson that learning the behavior, you have to learn objectively. Otherwise, it becomes very subjective. Now, or if you could say that you go outside and then she said that she was hot, then you have to indicate what is hot. He shut off the hat, shut off the coat, take off the scarf, and then start looking the sweating. So that's indicate hot. Okay? So that's what Skinner did. So, to the biology perspective. How the biology perspective indicate to the psychology? So it's considered as a biological structure, treating behavior purely on physical terms. So it's not like internal physiological structure, brain, nervous system. It's why a materialistic view is certain as a behavior physiological basis. So it has a physiological basis. In this field, working on nervous system, the role of genetic factors shaping the behavior and become major concerns. So it's held in all the social and psychological process, right from the biological process. So what does this theory indicate? It indicates that all of this behavior is based on your physiological system. How do you explain this? For example, if no one instigated me, the moment that I think about someone that I don't like, and I start, and then my heart starts beating. How could she say that to me? All of this one, then all of a sudden she comes, another person comes to me and says, then I think, why did you finish already? So my behavior starts acting up. My behavior acting up based on my physiological response. My respiration is very high already. And then my inside my organs, my health is not well already. And if someone come and talk, my response based on my physiological process inside. Okay? Or the other reasons that this is why this indicates that when a person got sick, cancer, and if you say something wrong with this person, they become very sensitive, right? And so when they're sensitive like that, their words might not be very kind. And all of this one is related to physiological. Also, I can tell you that I'm stepping to the midlife crisis stage. You know midlife crisis stage? It states that the human goes through two stages. The first stage is a teenager, and the second stage is the midlife crisis stage. The first stage, teenager, especially for women, the hormone gene, they starting having monthly period, and so that's why, and then they become so blossom, they're beautiful, and then they start flirting with men, eyes and that. Okay, so that's the teenager's stage. I'm going to the midlife crisis stage. That means my period is going to be gone. So then my whole body become roller coaster as well. Okay? Sometimes I'm very emotional. Sometimes I need a boyfriend. Sometimes I hate him. Sometimes I love him. Sometimes I love women. Sometimes I love girls. Sometimes I don't love students. Okay? Roller coaster. So if one day you say that I'm so beautiful, maybe I'm in love. Right? So, and then something conscious level of our state of mind. So this is what it is this called the more likely learning about your state of mind, which guarding your behavior. For example, when I said, I'm very content, I haven't met the man that meeting my criteria. That is my psychodynamic, right? This is my understanding, right? My requirement. Understand? So I have my requirement, and what is the requirement? The man that I need, that I can love, maybe that has to be smart, has to be intelligent, has to be gentle. Who knows, right? So if I have that kind of attitude, there is a reason behind it. And so that reason, that is what the psychodynamic learn about. The person's attitude has a reason for that kind of attitude. And this is very subconscious level that they need to analyze it. Cognitive. Now, what's the difference between that psychodynamic perspective and what is the difference between that and the cognitive perspective? Now, cognitive perspective, the main focus of the view is on how people know, understand, and think. So remember this. I just said about the cognitive including what? Understand, also know, and also think, also perceiving, remembering, and thinking. So all of those I already said in the eight consciousness, right? That's a cognitive psychology. And so that's why cognitive perspective, you learn all of this aspect, how you perceive the thing, how you make yourself understanding, and how you memorizing it, and how you go to think about it. Okay? So all of this one say your behavior is based on your cognitive process. Understand that? This kind of perspective is finding. Another perspective is science psychology is the humanistic perspective. Humanistic, when you talk about humanistic, you talk about compassion, how you socialize with other people. And also that's why basically this perspective is learning how you become kind and be not kind to other people. And that's all is on the humanistic perspective. Okay. So it's an emphasis on the free will instead of inner will. Now, we move into the last two PowerPoint slides. As I already said, all of those one perspective, that's mean the theory is finding about the psychologies. So then we go into the last two PowerPoint slides. Is a different field of psychology. I already said the psychology is very general at the beginning, learning between the human body and mind interaction. So after years, this psychology has been branched out a different field for specialized in certain perspective. So then people can learn at the depth level so that they can help the people's needs based on their requirement. So then the first one is experimental and cognitive psychology. So what do this one do? So they concern study in the psychological process such as sensation, perception, learning, memory, motivation, and motion. So that's how they learn the experiment. Not only cognitive, experimental level. Okay, how do you experiment? For example, emotion. How did they conduct the study to learn about the emotion? For example, if they learn about the pain, for example, pain, and if I have pain, they say, in the hospital, they look at the person have pain. Let's say the person has hip surgery, so that they put it like that. So then 4 steps say no more. So that's a psychology. So then the nurse is asking the way she walk, not very flat. flexible and only 4 seconds she left. So then next day she said, okay, give her the medicine before she walks. And then she can walk. Now she can 10 steps. So then from that, you understand that her emotion guarding her walking. Right? So through the experiment, through observation and experience, you know what is that emotion of that patient like at the beginning. So then you help you with that. Also that, for example, if a person has an anxiety attack, and the behavior of the anxiety patient is so, I'm bad, I feel so bad, I feel so bad. And then one day, the doctor come to see a doctor, and the doctor come in and say, what are you doing? I feel so bad. Stand up! And then all of a sudden, this is the behavior of anxiety attack. Okay? So through that, the people know that they learn all of this one. So the doctor knows this is behavior of the people who have anxiety attack. Okay, through all of this learning behavior, through and not only at the subjective level, at the very objective level, and also they need to document it every time how this person developed this kind of behavior, and after they tabulating all the observation, they indicate the person who has the anxiety attack have this kind of behavior. Okay, so that's what it's called experimental. Experimental is very objective. They learn something very objective, and they have a document for the documentary data to indicate what is the behavior like. Okay, so it's not just very subjective level. Now another field, and this experiment and cognitive psychology, very much most of the people who learn about the psychological problem in the hospital at a clinical level, they have to conduct all this kind of study, and then they deposit into the psychiatric ward. Okay, so they can learn the psychiatric patient. You know what is psychiatric? Huh? Ooh. Crazy. Psychotic people. Understand? You know what is psychotic people? What is psychotic? Crazy. Crazy people. Okay? So, but we can listen. Okay, so then another one is the physiological and comparative psychology. So this one is a different field of psychology. So it's not a different field. Inquiry devoted to analyzing biology foundations of behavior, and a certain small behavior can be reduced to a various physiological process. For example, you learn about an upending. And then something comes in, breathe. Like that. Then, various physiological process. Use the breathing process. Use the circulating process to calm your behavior down. So that's why it's called physiological comparative psychology. Okay, so they learn the behavior and they also learn the physiology. When a person is angry, their respiration has been increasing, right? So using a physiological process to calm a person down. So that's it, comparative study. Then we also have development psychology. Developmental psychology, what is the development? Development has been from a baby was born to a baby and a toddler. Toddler, that means people, the baby start walking and called toddler. 1 year old is considered infant. From 1 year old able to stand up to before school, it's called toddler. Before school, like 4 or 5 years old, they call preschool. And then preschool, you go into school. That's 6 years old, you go into first year, that is primary school. After primary school, you go into the junior high, that's from grade 6 to grade 8. And then from junior high, you go to high school, that's a senior, that's from grade 9 to grade 12. After grade 12, you go to learn about the young adult. Enter the university. Young adult, that means about from 19 years old to 25. From 25 to 40, that's mean adult. And then from 25 to 50 or 55, crisis level. And then 65 to whatever until that level. Golden age. Golden age, you know why it's golden? Because you need a cascade to enter. And bury that cascade. That's called golden age. That means you're ready to die. You're ready to go, you're ready to see God, or you're ready to go to Nibbana. Okay, so that's golden age. So you learn all of those stages of a human being is considered developmental psychology. Why do you need that kind of developmental psychology? Because, for example, if a baby, the infant crawling, and then picking on the electrical, this is the state of curious, right? When the baby starts moving, then the whole world, the baby needs to destroy, and then the baby needs to start picking on the electrical cord. And you say, don't touch it! But then the baby learns. The baby learns, the baby don't touch it anymore. But even at my level, and if I do that, there's a picking will go on. Then you don't say, don't touch it, right? You say, dangerous. Whatever. So, a different person have a different level, you have a different approach. Am I right? So you cannot use the way you approach toward a baby toward the adult. So you need to learn a human being have a different stage of life, will have a certain behavior. Because of a certain behavior, you need to have a certain approach of meeting that behaviors aspect. Okay? So that's why it's called the development. So for me now, with my crisis, that my whole going roller coaster. So sometimes if I see that I'm happy, then you can joke to me. But sometimes when you feel that I'm in the better, in the hell, don't touch me. Stay away from her. Right? So then you learn that she's goes through the midlife crisis. Okay, so then that's how you need to learn about the developmental psychology. And this is most of the teachers, the elementary school teacher and also high school teacher, they need to learn this psychology. And when I was in nursing, I also need to learn this psychology because in nursing we need to learn about the psychology of if we work in the pediatric, that is the children's hospital, I need to understand the children's behavior. And if I work for the elderly, I need to, the golden age stage, I need to learn the psychology of the golden age stage. Okay, so this development psychology depends on what field that you focus on, and you have to learn from it. Also, social psychology. Social psychology, as you know, the words already say, so social that means socializing. Right? Socializing. And when you're talking about socializing, you also learn about the culture. And I already tell you that for the Caucasian people, when you go out with them, they always AA type. And that is their socializing environment and also their culture environment. So you need to understand that kind of social culture psychology. Okay? So that's what is social psychology. And then we also have educational psychology, educational and school psychology. I already explained this already. So we need to learn development psychology and also the skill how to motivate the student to learn. Okay, so that's called educational and social psychology. Then we also have a counseling psychology. And counseling psychology has been developed very fast in Buddhist psychology. Buddhist counseling psychology. Because we use the Buddhist teaching and then how do we counsel for the people to overcome their more emotional challenging. Okay? So here we don't learn it, but you go to learn it in Force Master who never offer support, and that will be learned. But you have to learn at a basic level only. You cannot learn a lot of counseling. Because counseling, you require the language to dialogue, right? You need a communication skill. They call therapeutic communication counseling. And with your level of English, sometimes you say the wrong thing. So that's why in Hong Kong University, there is a Buddhist counseling psychology department, but you need the IL 6.0 in order to do for that purpose of communication or dialogue. So you need that. At the first semester level, I just teach you to recognize what kind of a person that need help in a certain way of helping them. That is part of the self-help and also counseling. That's linked into the psychology and also in the body picture. Then also clinical psychology. That means when we talk about clinical, it's associated with the hospital. Okay, so clinical psychology, that means the doctor, how they learn all of this one to diagnose the patient. For example, if you come to the doctor and say that, I feel that nobody likes me. I feel that my mom always have a negative feeling toward me. I feel that my friend don't like me. All of that statement, the doctor learned about those statements and analyzing, you feel you have a low self-esteem. Okay, so based on that statement, they learn and then they diagnose you. Or you say that, I feel that I'm worthless. Then the doctor will ask you, what are you going to do if you feel you're worthless? Have you ever talked about hurt yourself? Then you say, yeah, sometimes I'm thinking that's suicide. Then the doctor writes, suicide, high risk for suicidal effect. And that's how they learn from the clinical psychology. When you talk about clinical psychology, there's so much to the psychiatric problem. Tell me what the difference between the psychological problem and psychiatric problem. When do you need to see psychologists and when do you need to see psychiatrists? Maybe new terms. Welcome to Buddhist psychology. Huh? Okay. She's about right. Psychologist does mean I love that or I love for yourself. So then I'm crying. So then my friend said, go see psychologist. And then the psychologist said, what's your problem today? I fell in love with this one, the report of love. Blah, 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 whatever. Then he said, how old are you? 55 years. Well, how old is that one? 25 years. What the psychologist say? He's too young. You're probably looking for a daughter girl. I feel like someone that's beautiful, but he still doesn't love me. So then he said that, oh, okay. You feel that you love him and he doesn't love you. And do you think that you feel that he doesn't love you because of the age? I think so. So then, he's not worth it. You're beautiful, you're old, but you're older than him, but you're beautiful. When love comes with the love of heart, not from appearance, then if he falls in love with appearance, he's not worth it. Yeah, right, I'm smart. Why do you need to love you? There you go. Psychologist counseling to success, right? The same scenario. Then you go see a psychologist. Psychologist say, it's okay, you're looking for a new girlfriend, younger than you, a same age. But I'm smart. So what? I'm smart. I'm going to suicide. You go home and you are trying to drink medicine to suicide. Psychologist counseling on suicide. What? Then, if a suicide, it can kill. Then, and the hospital see psychiatrist. Psychiatrists would use the medicine to suppress your behavior because your state of mind unable to fix it. You're so attached to the idea that I So he must love me. All of those one cannot be fixed by rational information. Make you understand. Then you need the pill to suppress the behavior. That's why when you see psychiatrists, so basically psychiatrists treating the people who kung fu, psychologists treating the people to the behavior. If they haven't understand that level, then you need to listen to them. So that's why we just see psychiatrists. Psychiatrists or the kung fu people. Understand that? Okay. It's really questionable. Me too. Okay, so then we have the environmental psychology center. How human behaves according to the environment. And also think environment also interact back to the human being. In the general, for example, now you see the global heating, right? The global warming. And all of this global warming is actually part of the human responsibility to the environment. Right? And then the environment interact, and so that's why get back to the human being have a certain way of behaving. So now we see that California is burning, keep burning. Yeah. So then it's what people cry for their house burning. All of those ones that indicate how you learn. And environment psychology, you cannot define in 1 or 2 days. Because environment takes time to accumulate all of this human effect on it. When I came to Canada, and back then they have seagull, golden seagull. You know seagull? The animal look like a dog, but it can swim in the ocean. Okay, so that's called seagull. That's 1984. There's so many seagull in golden color too. But lately, in 1990, all the seagull vanished. You don't see them anymore at the bank of the inlet in Canada, where I live. And because of global warming, so all of these seagull moved to the north, where there's a lot of ice skating, so where they live, because that is their habitat, ideal habitat for them with the climate. Right? So then, the behavior of the sentient being, animal or human, based on the environment and interact with the environment. And the environment, based on the human deposit environment, become global warming, and so that's why humans got the result of what they have done to the environment reaction. So that the environment psychology learned about that. Engineer psychology. Now, in the modern psychology, a lot of engineer psychology learn. You know what engineer psychology now they learn? Exactly, generate this kind of game to attract the people. Generate this kind of game, you will attract more people to play the games. Those are engineering psychology. Also, put the gossip on the YouTube. The people can attract you by gossip. Engineering. Okay? Chat. And even now, engineering psychology in school, chat, GDP, AI. You see? So those are the engineering psychology. And then we also have health psychology. Health psychology, as you know, already said, health related to psychology, psychology related to health. If a person have so much stress at work, over time, she or he become hypertension. I have a nurse colleague who worked with me in the hospital for 10 years, and after 22 years she worked, she developed hypertension. But when after she quit the job, her hypertension has been reduced. So that's when the tension that has been accumulated and then is deposited into our health, our body. Okay? But I'm lucky she doesn't know Vipassana meditation. If she go to Vipassana lesson, she's not open up all this tension. Pop up, more tension. But she didn't know. So then she deposited, accumulated, and over the years she developed hypertension. Any questions? Done. One class today. Too much work? Too much? webpage. And bear with me. Here, when next time I come, have you read that page? And I see, oh, you look into idol. Like from developer, then I will say, take out this paper, 5 mark. I like to torture students like that. Any questions? Yes? Industrial psychology doesn't mean occupation. It doesn't mean occupation at all. For example, if a pulp mill that producing, let's say, a company making wood and bringing it to making the paper that we use, right? And then it spit out all the bypass product, unused product into the river. And then the people use that river for drinking, and then over the time they develop cancer, right? So then the industrial psychology, that's when they learn from all of this product and how this affects the human behavior and health. So that's industrial psychology. Also, that it brings out a lot of smoke, and the people start developing asthma, right? So then that's how the industrial psychology, they have to learn, and they need to have the knowledge about the industry, a certain industry, so then they learn to the human behavior living around that industry. Also, that for example, people like from where I'm from Vancouver, Canada, wood, pine wood. We have tons of pine wood, mountains of pine wood, and so that is the environment. So then the people start cutting wood and build houses. And so what do you go to do? Then you run out of wood. And how do people behave? How the bear, the polar bear, and the black bear living there. So they learn all of this animal behavior. They lose their habitat due to the forest industry. And that's how it's affect the being, animal at that locality. So then that's part of the industry psychology. Yes?
The difference between health psychology and physiology. Health psychology also uses stress and the way it affects the body.
No, physiological psychology does mean you learn the process of also inside the respiration, right? Digestive system, and all those are you use biology, physiological, to explain the human behavior. Whereas the health psychology, that you learn that the health, how to promote health in general, but not so much specialized in the physiological. They do touch about physiological, but not so much in the specialized in the physiological only. Whereas physiological, they just learn about the physiology inside the human being. And then a certain way of like I said, they learn about hormone at midlife. And then they say that due to my hormone decrease, so that's why I have a certain behavior. Okay? And certain health. Whereas health is different. Health, they also learn about lifestyle. You go to jogging every morning, that's promoting health. Whether you do the meditation in the morning, it's also promoting health. All of those aspects is related to health psychology. Any further questions? Now, in the exam, I will give you, please give a definition of the health psychology. Definition of physiology, no. I'm not going to answer like that. I'm going to answer like that. I'm going to say that, okay, if I can spin, what psychology is that?
Ví dụ còn tất đó.
Okay, it's a why. I love it. Keep learning. Okay? That's why I asked you to ask that. She asked the question, what's the difference between health psychology and physiological psychology? You need to understand, you should learn the Vishnu Manga, the Buddha Gosha said, the 7 ways of learning. 7 ways of Yeah. And just like when you come up here, you become a teacher, and you ask me, I have to give you a sample to explain to you, right? And if you're not clear about this, how can you understand each different field of psychology? And then later on, you go into the PhD. You want to choose a specific, if you choose psychology to do for your PhD, you need to understand a certain way how you graph your topic in psychology in order to conduct a study for yourself. Right? You have to understand clearly. And this clearliness requires you to study, to read online as well. Copy what the difference between physiological psychology and health psychology. Ask my assistant professor, Mr. Google. He answered. Objective that you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, and you can touch from 5 senses. Subjective, concept. Any further question? No question? Fine. Two hours of psychology is already drained your mind. So much
Hồi nãy Xuân ơi,